Hello everyone, Alex here. Welcome to our kitchen. I'm making this video today because we recently just got back from a trip to Ischgl in the Austrian Alps, and I searched for a video with this exact title while I was sitting there in our hotel, and I did not find one. So I'm making this video for all of you people going to Ischgl who do not ski or snowboard. I needed to find a way to entertain myself during the day because they didn't come down from the slopes until about 4 every day. In this video, I'm going through about 15 things that there are to do in Ischgl for people who don't ski or snowboard. And I wish that I would have had this information before I went, because there's actually a lot of activities that only happen several days of the week. And if I would have planned better, I could have done some of these things that I think sound really cool. Number 1, I thought I'm just gonna walk around. It's a cool place. I've heard a lot about it. I'm just gonna walk around and see what there is to do. And the truth is, we were there on a Sunday through Wednesday, and this place is dead during the day, guys. Like, every single person who comes to Ischgl is to go up into the mountains. So when I was walking around town, there was barely anyone there. You know, like, shopping in some restaurants were open, but there wasn't a lot going on. And I went to the tourism office where I got a ton of literature, which I had plenty of time to go through. I got this literature from the tourism office. I walked around a little bit, getting a little peckish around lunchtime. So I decided to plant myself in a restaurant. And there was no one in this restaurant except the waiter and the cook. And so they were really happy to talk to me, tell me other recommendations that they thought and things that they thought that I should do while we were there, while I was there. I found a local place, I think it's called Bistro Guxa, and the guy, Walter, was super nice, and he recommended some Tyrolean specialties for me to try, and he was like giving me little courses and helping me pair wines and things like that, and I thought that was really nice. I mean, that's something that I enjoy, is just sitting somewhere and people watching out the window, eating food, drinking wine. I mean, when I tell you guys, I sat there for 6 hours. I literally sat there for 6 hours. If you just want to go park yourself somewhere, bring your laptop, bring a notebook, write, do work, whatever you want to do, no judgment. That's what I did. So if I didn't just sit there all day, here are some things that I learned that I could have done. The second thing that you can do is a night toboggan run. And I think this would be really fun with kids or just adult friends. I think it sounds awesome. On Mondays and Thursdays, there's night toboggan runs up. If you take the Silverette on A1 car, to the top of the mountain, it is €15 for the cable car ride, and then you can rent a sled for €10. The third thing on my list is winter hiking trails. There's actually an entire booklet that they will give you at the tourism office that goes through all of the hiking trails. And the thing about Ischgl is it's in a valley, and there's a lot of different towns sprinkled, like all like along the river, basically, that runs through the valley. From Ischgl, there's about 6 trails that leave like from or near the city center. And the thing about this is, yes, I brought my winter boots, but I don't know if they would have been, this picture, they're like still in snow. It's not like the trails are necessarily like cleared like that. So I think that if you had winter hiking shoes, you should be okay. I don't think you necessarily need snowshoes. I didn't do this because the sun, it sets early in the winter time. I was not up early enough to go on a winter hike, and I get kind of nervous hiking by myself anyways. Some people are totally cool with that. I'm like, I don't know the wildlife here. I don't know where I am. All my friends are snowboarding. If I get lost in the Alpine wilderness, can you imagine? I wouldn't survive. So that's an option though. I think it's a very good option if I planned ahead of time and maybe had a friend to go with me. The next thing that you can do, which I wish I would have done, guys, so they have cross-country ski courses every Monday, and it is for like 1.5 hours, €44 a person, and I think that it does not include the equipment, so you'd have to rent that separately. If you're there on a Monday, you can certainly come to this class, and it says that you can request like a private lesson any day of the week as long as you have a minimum of 3 people. So that's an option for people who are there on Mondays. The next thing that you could do is book an appointment at the Silverette Spa. There's a big spa in town. Silverette is a big name there. They have like sauna, massages, this whole like bathing ritual thing you can get. They have a quiet room, indoor pools, all these different spa treatments, I guess. And so if I would have planned ahead of time, I would have scheduled myself for a nice little massage or something like that. We were there at the end of 2021, but according to the website, they are planning to have a whole new facility finished building at the end of 2022. In a year, if y'all have been to the new one, leave a comment, tell us how great it is. Going to a spa, always a nice option, very nice indoor option. I appreciate indoor options in the wintertime. The next thing you can do, this involves leaving Ischgl proper. And this is buying cheese. I was talking to the waiter and there was actually a cheese store like across the street. And I was like, should I go there to get some of this like specialty Alpen cheese? And he was like, absolutely do not go there. He told me, go to the cheesemaker actually in the town over. I think that he was in Galtor. And I'll link that cheese guy down below. He said to go there to buy Alpen cheese and not to buy it in the stores in town. A little tip about traveling outside of Ischgl, there is a ski bus. I did not take it, but if you have a ski pass, it's free, I believe, and it takes you through like all the different towns in the valley, and I think it's pretty affordable if you don't have a ski pass. So if you don't want to drive, or you're wary about driving, or you don't want to lose your parking spot, whatever, you can take this bus to some of these little towns and go to the cheese store, for example. Or there's many other hiking trails that start or end at these other towns too. My waiter really recommended the town of Matten. I'm sorry, I cannot say this. And he recommended going there for some winter hiking and to always try to hike on the sunny side of the mountain and not get caught in the shadows and be freezing the whole time. He said it's much better to be on the other side of the towns so you can look at them and be in the sunshine. Another thing that you can do that's probably pretty obvious and your friends would be down with is if you just went up in the cable car with them. Like you can go up there and not be a skier, and in Ischgl especially, there's lots of places to sit and like eat and drink and just kind of hang out and be up in the mountains. And when your friends want to take a break, they can come and stay with you and chill out for a little bit before going on different runs. Ooh, okay, these next two are extreme sport things, I guess, that you can do. They do have ziplining there. It's called Ischgl Skyfly and it's €39 per person. That involves going up to a cable car and kind of figuring that out. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in researching that. There's also the option to go paragliding. Everyone loves paragliding, and if it's a clear day, that could be really, really nice. The next thing on the list, which I'm very interested in, but I don't know how you would do this if you were by yourself necessarily, is to go curling. Guys, I have this dream of going curling. I've never done it before, but I think that it sounds really, really fun. And it's so cheap in Ischgl, so you can rent the whole like curling setup in your own lane and everything for €5 for an hour for an adult. I don't know if I would have just shown up and been able to kind of latch on, but I think that is like very affordable, and I was pretty pumped about it when I saw it in the booklet. Another thing you can do, kind of like winter hiking / cross country skiing, is that they have snowshoe walks every Friday. And it's 3 to 4 hours, €54 a person. And they provide the snowshoes, but they don't provide the poles. And that is something that we weren't there on a Friday, but that's definitely something I would have done. I think it'd be a good way to meet people. The next thing on the list is good for an indoor day. So there's actually 3 museums there. And there is a cable car museum. There's kind of like a local history museum. There's also a farming museum. If you wanted to go learn something, those are some great options. The last thing on the list, and something that I also wish I would have done, is there is a Silvretta Wildlife Park. And it's not in Ischgl proper. You could take the bus to there and take it to the Silvretta Park bus stop. You can drive there. You could walk there if you wanted to. It's just a little bit of a hike from Ischgl. And they have all of these, like ibex and deer and things like that. And I think that sounds really cool. And they're open from noon to 9 every day except Saturday, and they have hot food. You can go hang out with some animals, eat some yummy food. I think that sounds really nice in the Alps. Come on. All right, guys, that was my big list of things you can do at Ischgl if you do not snowboard or ski. And I hope that this was helpful for you. I really hope that you do a little bit more planning than I did. Let me know in the comments if you've been to Ischgl and you do not do winter sports and what you did to fill your time, especially if you're a local. Please leave a comment below on what you'd recommend to someone who doesn't ski or snowboard in the Ischgl area. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.